Hello and welcome to part one of the Home Specialist Training. This training is part of a series of presentations which were made to help our network of home specialists capture sufficient high-quality data from the homes that our clients asked us to inspect. This particular presentation is an overview of our process and approach to home inspections. My name is Ari Hunsaker with Homeland Field Services, and I'll be your host through these presentations. For those that are watching this training, we thank you for your work in inspecting homes. It goes without saying that the information we receive from you is critical to our clients. High quality photos and accurate answers to survey questions are extremely important. So thank you for taking the time to make everything right in the work that is assigned to you. All right, the agenda for this presentation is as shown. I'm going to quickly cover how this presentation fits in with the other presentations. I'll also cover our approach to home inspections. Then I'll cover the process that we go through to get the information that our clients need, which is essentially the inspection process. I'll also talk about the HUD keys that you'll need to get into these properties. And then lastly, I'll review what an inspection survey is and the basic elements of a completed inspection. All right, so this is part one of a series, as you can see here, this training here. We're going to, we'll do an overview of our approach, our process to doing home inspections. As you can see, the second part covers some of the essentials in taking photos, how they're supposed to appear, that sort of thing, what types of photos are needed. Part three is the inspection of a bathroom, specifically what things are important in a bathroom. Part four does the kitchen, 5-bedroom, so on and so forth. And then the last one is kind of a lessons learned. That'll be our part 8. Okay, so if you know a little bit about a home and the systems that make it run, how a home is put together, etc., you can earn a nice paycheck by being one of our home specialists. Our clients have homes all over the country, but they don't have the resources to keep track of all of these properties, and they come to us for help. So just among our clientele, there really is a great demand for home inspections. Now, we provide the technological tools to gather information about these homes, but we need great people in the field that are reliable and interested in relaying good, accurate information about these homes. Before going through this process, I want to point out that our home specialists, they're sometimes called inspectors, they need to download an application called Proven Direct to their smartphones. Proven is a free app available on Google's Play Store or Apple's App Store. Proven allows us to send work orders to specific inspectors. When the specialist opens the work order, this is in Proven, they'll see various tasks associated with each room or area of the home. When they click into a task, Proven will open a survey with the questions and photo requests for certain types of information. The survey essentially guides the inspector through each aspect of the home to gather all of the information that our client needs. So here's an overview of what this process looks like. Number one, the whole process starts with the work order from our client. So number one, we receive the work order and enter it into our system. The second step is we send an invitation then to complete the work order to any of our inspectors or specialists that we have in the area. This is normally within 20 to 30 miles of the house. The third step is whoever that first inspector is that responds to our invitation and can do the work or the inspection quickly, they're assigned the work order. The inspector also provides information about when the work order will be fulfilled. Obviously, if they can't do it quickly, then we'll have to go to somebody else. But the first one that responds and that can do that work order in a quick time frame is the one who's assigned that work order. Step number 4, the work order is sent then to that assigned inspector in Proven, the program I talked about earlier. And then the inspector goes to the house, they answer the questions in the survey, they take pictures and measurements, and then they submit that back to us. The nice thing about this is you don't have to go home, download photos from an SD card, upload or email them to us or any of that sort of stuff. It's all done through the app using cloud technology to get all of that information back to us here at Homeland. So that's the 4th step. The 5th step then is that these inspection surveys, they're pulled from Proven by our staff here. We process them, we convert them into a cost estimate and into a condition assessment. And then the 6th step then essentially is to take that estimate and that assessment, group them with the photos, and then package them in the right way and then send them on to the client. By the way, this picture that you're looking at is a great front elevation view of a home. This is obviously a rendering, but this is the type of picture of the front elevation that we get. It shows the whole subject, and it's clear and it's in focus. Incidentally, most homes that we inspect aren't nearly as nice as this one here. All right, continuing on then, when you arrive at a property, perhaps even before, open up the survey and proven entitled, it's called Arrival, and as mentioned before, and then take pictures of the street sign like you have in this picture here, and the front of the home like the previous picture. The best practice is that we always want to have a picture of the cross street, just like in this particular slide here. Proven has a location assistant in it to help guide you to the property. So when you turn onto the street where the property is located, make sure you have the Arrival survey open and just snap a quick picture of the street sign. Our clients like this because it proves that you are on the right street. If you aren't able to gain access to the home, this gives you more support to show that you are in the area, so that we can take care of you with the trip charge if needed. All right, this particular picture is an example of the less than ideal homes that we see a lot. This particular home appears clearly to be occupied. Although it's rare, be aware that a home you visit and inspect, it might be occupied. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen once in a while. If it is occupied, then just finish out that Arrival survey that I mentioned earlier with those few pictures and then leave, and then we'll pay you for the trip. And obviously you've got proof with those photos that I mentioned. So how do you know if a home is occupied? Well, first off, you can look for some signs. And from the outside, what we look for typically is in the mailbox, look for fresh mail in the mailbox. If the lawn if it's been cut, if it's a manicured lawn, if there are cars in the driveway. And now that might be a little misleading at times, because the cars in the driveway, sometimes they're abandoned cars, if they're flat tires, if it's a dusty sort of vehicle, if it looks unused. Sometimes the neighbors even park their car in the driveway of a vacant property because it's vacant. But anyway, that might be one sign that the home is occupied, is if there are cars in the driveway. Just be aware that it might be misleading. If there are live pets, you can see a couple of them on the roof of this particular house. One of the best sources, actually, of information may be the neighbor. As I mentioned earlier, they may have their cars parked in the driveway. You just knock on the door, and if they're there, they can tell you if it's occupied or not. When it appears the home is vacant from the outside, make sure that you enter the property, and there should be a lockbox somewhere, or have the correct key, and we'll talk about the keys in just a moment. When you walk into the home, be sure to announce yourself, and then go throughout the home to make sure that it is not occupied. The best practice is to go to the basement first, or to the lowest level, check all the rooms, closets, spaces, open spaces, etc., and then work your way up through the home. And if it's not occupied, then it's great. You can finish the Arrival survey and begin the real assessments, the real surveys. And we usually do that from outside, is where you start and then kind of work your way inside. If you find evidence that the home is occupied, so like, for example, if there's fresh milk in the fridge or toiletries in the bathroom, just leave from the inside immediately. Take a few pictures of the front of the property, like the number of the house, the front elevation, the picture of the front of the home, kind of like this one here. Talk to a neighbor, all that stuff, and then contact us immediately. We'll pay you for the trip fee. If it's vacant, then go ahead and walk out of the home and start your assessment from the outside, which usually is the best practice, as I mentioned earlier. All right, getting into the home. So not all properties have a lockbox. Most of them do. This really nice home here happens to have a lockbox. You can see on the doorknob there, but not all of them do. Now, everybody that does inspections for us, they're required to have the HUD inspection keys. And this is a packet of 11 keys that typically gives you access to any and all properties. Now, you can get these HUD keys in a package. They're available from a vendor of ours called MFS Supply. And they're about $10 for the set of inspection keys. If you don't have that set of keys, be sure to contact us. We can get you a link where you can order these keys and get them shipped to you right away. Or we can make other arrangements somehow to get you those keys as quickly as possible. But these keys are necessary. And as I mentioned, it's a packet of about 11 keys. It's about $10 for that set. And then if you order it from MFS as an example, they'll ship that out to you as quick as they can. All right, as mentioned earlier, we use Proven Direct for our home inspections. Proven, as I mentioned earlier, it's a free application that you just download to your smartphone from the App Store or the Play Store. Excuse me, we provide a username and password so that you can log into the Proven application on your smartphone. then at that point we can send you work orders through the Proven application. And that work order would include the home's address and then the surveys, which correspond to the rooms or areas of the house. And when you finish the surveys, that information is then uploaded and proven via the cloud to us. And as I mentioned earlier, we use that information to create a condition assessment and a cost estimate or a bid for our client so that they know the health of the home. All right, surveys, they normally take somewhere between 60 and 90 minutes to complete, so an hour to an hour and a half. Your first survey may take a little longer as you get used to the process. Houses that have a lot of damage, where there's quite a bit to document, they may take longer than houses that are in good shape, like this bathroom here is, pristine condition. This would be a pretty fast bathroom survey to go through this here. Other bathrooms are not quite so nice, and so there might be a lot to document. If that's the case, it might take a little bit longer to finish a home if you have a lot of that sort of appearances going on. But be aware that the more surveys that you do, the faster you get, just the way that it works out. Keep in mind that clear or in focus photos with proper lighting and a sufficient number of photos are very important. If there's any question, more pictures from different angles are better than less. So again, we want really good, clear, with proper lighting type photos, the best you can do, and to get a good number of those photos that are like that. That's what really helps out our client quite a bit. As I mentioned, with good lighting, we do require that when you do inspections that you do it during the daytime so that there is daylight coming through the windows. Many of these homes do not have power on, or the water may not be on, so you just have to have light, from the outside to help with doing the inspection, to help so that we can get better photos. Quality is critical to keep that work coming to us, so we can keep you going. And ongoing training and your feedback are essential to make this a success. Now, there is a survey for each area of the home, and this includes the bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, roof, all those areas of the home. There's a survey that goes along with that. Now, you may be sent, a work order that has different areas of the home that need to be looked at. Like maybe you'll be sent a request to just take a look at the outside, or maybe just to take a look at the garage or the roof or something like that. By and large, though, we typically look at the whole home. So all of the outside, all of the inside, on the roof, in the attic, basement if there is one, or a crawl space. All of those areas, we look at the systems, we look at the water heater, the HVAC system if there is one. All of those systems and all of those critical portions of the house, and this really gives the client a good idea as to what the health of that home is. All right, this particular presentation, as I mentioned, this is just an overview. The best way to really learn the process is to actually get out and do it, give it a shot. This is the first presentation in a series. All of these are intended to help our home specialists be well prepared to accept and complete quality home inspections. There are other presentations in this series that will go into specifics about how to use Proven, how to fill out the surveys and the inspection of the home. All that information comes in the other presentations. But at this point here, I want to thank you for your time and your attention. If there's any questions that you have about this presentation, or really any of the presentations in this series here, please contact us at Homeland Field Services. Once again, thank you very much for your time.